kids going to yeshiva, public school. He's going to inspire us all. Please, everybody give a round of applause for Rabbi Maksumov. A mother walks into her son's room one morning and finds that her son is still in bed. Out of deep concern for her son, she starts screaming at him, "What's going to be with you? How are you ever going to get anywhere in life with such behavior?" And she goes on and on, screaming at her son how he just missed another day of school. Suddenly the son picks up his head and he turns to his mom and says, "You know, Mom, I don't like school. The kids aren't nice to me, the bus driver is mean to me, the lunch lady doesn't like me. So give me just one good reason, just one reason to why I should go to school." And then he takes his head and he plunges it back into the pillow. The mother stands there for a moment, she thinks to herself, and then she turns to her son and she says, "You know, son, I'll give you two good reasons to why you should go to school. One, you're 30 years old, and two, you're the principal of the school." It is in the best interest of every parent to place their child in an environment filled with ethics and morals. And we as Torah Jews understand that the best place they could get such values is in a yeshiva. Just like we have something called car insurance, and we have something called health insurance and life insurance, there's also something called child insurance. And what is child insurance? Child insurance is placing your child into yeshiva because that will ensure that your child will come out successful. But unfortunately, there are many tznikas shenishba, those who don't realize that the Torah belongs to them just as much as it belongs to us. And unfortunately, they place their kids into the hands of the Western society. And we walk down the street, sometimes we come by public schools and we see kids coming out, dismissal time. And sometimes it's very hard to discern which kid is Jewish and which kid is not. And at times like this, we have to ask ourselves, is there any way I could get involved and help this kid get the education that every Jewish kid deserves? I think the answer lies within a Mishnah. The Mishnah says, there are three things that a man is obligated to ask his wife Erev Shabbat. Number one, he has to ask her, Esarten, did we give Ma'aser? We know that Hashem provides us from day to day, every single week, a certain amount of parnasah, a certain amount of livelihood money. And that money, 10% of it must go to the poor, to the ani'im. And the second question that we turn to our wife and ask is, Eraften, is the eruv up? The purpose of an eruv is to take two domains and to turn it into one. There is a prohibition in the Torah that we're not allowed to carry on Shabbat from one domain to another. By placing eruv, what we're doing is we're taking two domains and we're turning it into one. And so we are making it possible for people to go ahead and carry on Shabbat. And finally, he turns to his wife and he asks her the most important question. Halakat adaner, do we light the candles? So this Mishnah sounds very simple. 3 rules, 3 questions. Did you give Ma'aser? Did we put up the eruv just in case someone forgets the Shabbat and they might come to carry, just so they don't go against this prohibition of carrying on Shabbat? We have to make sure that eruv is up. And finally, we ask our spouse, we ask our wife in the home, did we light the candle? But I want to give you a deeper explanation behind this Mishnah. And after this explanation, I hope that we'll look at this Mishnah in a whole different light. What the Mishnah is coming to tell us is very simple. The Mishnah is saying, Esarten. You know who's the Esarten? Esarten means 10%. Who's the 10%? There are about 14 million Jews, close to 15 million in this world. And maybe 10% of them are aware that they are Jewish. Those 10%, it says, the 10% who are aware that you're Jewish, who have some sort of shaykh, some sort of connection to the Torah. The Mishnah is telling us, Eraften. What does the word eruv mean? The word eruv comes from la'arev. La'arev means to combine, to merge, to mingle. What do we say? What does the eruv do? He takes two domains and he makes it into one. It mingles. And so it says, you the 10%, you come and mingle with those who are less fortunate than you, who don't have the Torah in their life. And then we finally say, and what is your mission? Your mission is, go light up those nishamot. Go light up and spark up those nishamot who are less fortunate than you. Go ahead and enlighten those who don't have Torah in their life. We're not all dynamic speakers, and we're not all cure professionals, but Baruch Hashem, we have organizations that are. Where we have Chazak and we have places like Shaping Lives that allow us to be involved. And although we can't get involved maybe directly, but maybe by chipping in or maybe getting involved with these organizations however we can, that's how we are able to give, like my wife said, those kids the taste of Torah. The Torah is like candy. It's so sweet. And once that child comes to a Sunday program, And once he starts getting a piece of the Torah and he sees how tasteful it is, he comes home and he gives it over to his parents, and all of a sudden the parents get enlightened. And that's what the Mishnah is coming to tell us. The Vilna Gaon says that every 1,000 years is one day for Hashem. And he says Sunday is 1,000, Monday is 2,000, Tuesday is 3,000, Wednesday is 4,000, Thursday is 5,000, and Friday is 6,000. Hashem is waiting for Shabbat. Hashem is waiting for the Messianic era, for Mashiach to come. And when that happens, then will it be too late for us to go and reach out? So Hashem says, in this Mishnah, it's calling out to us that right now is the moment. Before the curtain set on world history, it is our chance to go and light up those neshamot. So let us take and let us apply and we fulfill upon ourselves this Mishnah. And let us go out and after let us get close to those who don't have the Torah that we do. And once we do that, then can we spark their neshamot and enlighten them and bring them closer, one step closer to our ultimate redemption. Thank you for listening and thank you for inviting me.